Welcome back to Studio 10. So a Bactrian camel calf has been born at the UK's Whipsnade Zoo.
Video released by the zoo on Friday showed the baby boy, who is yet to be named, and keepers say he is strong and healthy.
Oh, the calf was born on May 18th to first-time mom Orla and dad Oakley following a 13-month pregnancy.
He joins his 1.5-year-old sister Sally, who was born in April last year, and will live with the Conservation Zoo's herd of 5 adults.
Respect to that mom, 13-month pregnancy.
Mum. We're talking about British
Yes.
things.
Excuse me to all the Brits out there.
We'll be right back with more Studio 10 after this. There's still more to come on Studio 10, but first a preview of what's coming up on Fox 10 Midday with our friend Ashlyn. Hey, Ashlyn.
Yeah, good morning to you, Joe. Here's a quick look at 2 stories coming up in the 11 o'clock hour. First, in national news, we're talking about the rift between President Trump and Elon Musk, what they're arguing about, and how a resolution could be on the horizon. And then Vanessa is having a fun morning at Stampin' Turtles and Daphne for a lesson in watercolors. So if this sparks your interest as a fun summer activity especially, we'll let you know how you can get involved. And speaking of summer, it's super hot out there, but it's looking like a great weekend to cool off. So Jen will have your full fun weekend forecast. Be sure to join us here on Fox 10 Midday at 11 o'clock. Chelsea?
That freeze frame about to look like us in a second.
I know. Hey-oh, it's a good time of the day. We've got a special Foodie Friday. Our friends from Rock and Roll Sushi have dropped off several rolls for us to try this morning.
But check this out, y'all. There's also a free sushi sweepstakes.
Ooh, so from now until June 18th, those of you who are 18 and older can register to have a chance to win free sushi for a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so one winner will be randomly selected to receive $1,040 in Rock and Roll Sushi Eats. That equals $20 a week for 52 weeks.
I'm eating.
The winner will then be selected on National Sushi Day, which is June 18th. And if you didn't know, Rock and Roll Sushi was founded right here in Mobile. And we'd like to thank Chase McCluskey for the sushi. He's
Thanks,
the owner
Chase.
of the West Mobile location.
OG Chase.
This is solid. So I always talk about the sweepstakes that we always talk about here, and I'm like, okay, is it 1 month that they do it? This is 1 week, $20 worth of sushi. So you are really set. Joe's down. The spice
What did he
got
have?
him.
Wasabi?
You might have had some wasabi.
Oh,
So
This is
good.
great.
I don't even know what I'm trying here.
the roll I just had was fantastic.
So I'm gonna.
Something got me. I just swallowed.
So they're
funny.
each numbered.
Yeah.
I was gonna read them all off.
Yes,
14.
yes.
Okay.
Jen's gonna read
So we
them off
had a VIP fried, which is that one over there closest to you, V. We had the punk rock, the crowd surfer, the metalhead, the groupie, the jam sesh, the good times, the tuna nigiri. Thank you. I was like, wait a minute. Salmon nigiri, spicy tuna, spicy shrimp, and wontons. This is
We
great.
can't even talk. That's on the silence.
I need y'all.
I'm just waiting
Yeah.
to dig in.
Delicious. We have a Rock and Roll Sushi near us. It's a go-to.
Ours too.
It's
over in
so
Daphne.
easy.
Yeah.
And if you don't like sushi, the great thing about Rock and Roll, welcome back, friend.
Yeah.
They've expanded, so now they have like hibachi, fried
yeah.
rice, like whatever you and the
love
kids
hibachi.
want. They have great hibachi. I think their like salad, hibachi salad is my favorite. Their dressing is amazing.
And they're all across
awesome.
our area too. There's one over in Dothan where my husband is from. And so when he learned that it was from here in Mobile, he was really happy about that.
Super cool. Their branding is awesome too.
Yeah. So can someone?
I was eating a wonton when it happened. It wasn't anything spicy.
Are you giving a gift?
Call the police.
We do have Franklin Medical.
Officials are here. We'll make Joe go out in the lobby. Anyways, thank you, Chase, for this. Enter the sweepstakes. We're going to have more on our website in just a little bit.
Got me crying.
Coming up, Jen's going to tell us about the forecast. We're going to make sure Joe's alive with your friends with Franklin Health Center.
Yeah.
It's all coming up on Studio 10.
I think he already left to them.
Fox 10 Mornings.
First on the Gulf Coast with breaking news and weather. Fox 10 Midday starts now.
Well, happening right now, Fox 10 is teaming up with Franklin Primary Health Center for Men's Health Month. We've been showing you all morning long. We're offering free screenings for men just feet away from me here at the Fox 10 studios. Let's check back in with Joe again this morning. He's been working hard here at the station. Joe, how's the turnout so far?
Well, thank you for noticing. I've been working hard. Ashton, appreciate that. The turnout's been great. People were lined up at the door as soon as we opened this morning, and they've been trickling in here and there after that. Speaking of which, my buddy Raul Richardson is over here. Raul, hey, come on, man. David Edwards, what's up? Good to see you.
Fantastic. How you doing, Joey?
You're looking sharp this morning.
That's only because I have to match you every time I come.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on this morning. Why did you choose to come in?
Well, first of all, I want to make sure that if anything is going out of order in my body, that I'll get an early notice so that I can take care of it.
The early detection is key. That's what we've talked about all this time. And we also know that the rates are higher for African-American males, and I'm sure that was extra important for you to come and get checked out.
Absolutely, because knowledge is power, okay? The more you know, the better you can handle the situation and be able to take care of it. And the sooner you know, the sooner you can do what's necessary to alleviate the problem, if there's a problem. Absolutely. Because statistics show that 1 out of 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer.
David Edwards here was not a planned interview. This just happened. And you have all these statistics to back it up. So you know why it's important. How you doing? Come on, you can go ahead. Walk on by. Thanks for coming in today. All right, so are you done yet, or you still got to go through the testing?
I'm done and completed, and I'm expecting a great turnout on the results, as in negative.
All right, well, I'm sure they will be. David, thank you so much for coming in today. We're going to have more in just a little bit here, but there's still time to come on in until noon. I don't know why I got his name confused with one of our other frequent guests here. But hey, Raul, I hope you're doing well as well. David, thanks for coming in. We'll be right back.
All right, Joe, thank you. He's been talking to a lot of people
Exactly. It's been
all
a
morning
long
long.
morning.
At one point, I think he was running past me in the hallway, so he's getting his steps in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and good for you, David. Here's to negative results.
Absolutely. Well, for right now, you're watching Fox 10 Midday. Thanks for looking in, and happy Friday. I'm Ashlyn Mitchell.
And I'm Jennifer Lambers.
Jen, I really feel like the story of today is hot and humid throughout the weekend, right?
It's summertime.
Okay.
It is summertime here on the Gulf Coast, and so that is exactly what we're experiencing for today. So let's take a live look at conditions across the southeast, and main takeaway for us here locally is just some of those spotty showers that you're already beginning to experience. Depending upon your location, you might have already been hit with some of these showers. Really just starting to see some of those moving through now Mobile, Baldwin counties, and the Florida Panhandle. Areas on the north side of I-65, once you get towards Baldwin County, really it's just quiet out there. Mississippi counties, Washington, Clark, Monroe, Conecuh, and even Escambia County in Alabama, really not seeing much of this. It's as you travel further south and already starting to see more of those showers just beginning to pick up across Mobile Bay. So just on the south side there of downtown Mobile, you can start to see some of those showers possibly holding together by the time they approach closer towards the eastern shore. More of those showers closer towards Grand Bay. Southern Baldwin County looking nice along with the eastern shore, but it's going to be closer towards really far southeastern Baldwin County. That's where we're starting to see some of those showers. More of those beginning to push out of Lillian and making their way closer towards Escambia County, Florida. So Molino, Cantonment, Pensacola, wet and soggy, and more of those showers only beginning to pick up for portions of Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties. Crestview and Niceville still staying pretty soggy to begin. Temperatures out there right now, we're resting really in the mid to upper 80s. We're quickly warming up by this point, but we're feeling warmer with those heat indices. The feels like temperatures, look at that, more of the triple digits. Milton, Molino, Atmore, Calvert, all feeling over 100 degrees out there. It is toasty. Only expecting more spots, including Mobile, to also be included later on this afternoon. You can really just start to see that gap out there. Feels like temperatures 10 to 12 degrees warmer. Stay hydrated, take breaks, and make sure you're doing the same heading into tomorrow and Sunday as these toasty temperatures, the feels like temperatures even higher, only sticking around heading into the weekend. But I'm going to talk more about your forecast, what I'm tracking in the long range, and I'll look at your futurecast. All those details are coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. Well, new on midday this morning, President Trump's new travel ban is sending shockwaves throughout U.S. communities. Signed on Wednesday, the latest ban bars nationals from a dozen countries and places restrictions on travelers from 7 others. The administration says the ban targets countries with, quote, hostile attitudes towards the U.S. and poor vetting procedures.
The countries that we have don't have things under control. And why now? I can say that it can't come soon enough, frankly. We want to keep bad people out of our country.
And that ban includes Afghanistan, Chad, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, and Sudan. It's reminiscent of the policies from the Trump first term targeting predominantly Muslim countries. That policy challenged, but ultimately was upheld by the Supreme Court. Some Democrats, though, are pushing back. They say it illegally discriminates against travelers and it's racist. Well, it's a feud few saw coming. President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk are now at each other's throats. Hard to believe that just a week ago, President Trump was handing Elon Musk a golden key to the White House. Now, a bitter falling out. On social media, Trump wrote, quote, "I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate and he just went crazy." Musk, initially angry over the deficit impact of Trump's so-called big beautiful budget bill, had a flurry of posts on X. Now Trump threatened to cut Musk's government contracts and Musk threatened to halt some of his work with NASA. But in the meantime, the president's domestic agenda is now teetering on Capitol Hill.
I think one of the big questions now with this big, beautiful bill is whether some of these conservative hardliners in Congress are going to follow along with Trump or if Speaker Johnson can hold this together.
But could things be patched up quickly? Musk and Trump are expected to talk on the phone later on today. Well, in global news now, Russia slammed Ukraine overnight with a massive coordinated strike, launching more than 400 drones and 40 cruise missiles. Fox News' Alex Hogan shows us the impact.
Another night of Russian airstrikes on Ukraine left at least 3 people dead and dozens wounded. It's becoming a familiar story as Moscow escalates its attacks, but last night's was particularly intense. More than 40 missiles and 400 drones launched at Ukraine. Moscow says this was retaliation for recent sabotage attacks on Russian soil. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky now pleading for world leaders to hold Russia accountable.
We do ask for strong steps. That's what's in short supply right now, and this is what can make even the sleaze bags in Moscow realize they can't pull the war off.
But it's not clear what the U.S. response will be. This week, the Trump administration gave its strongest signals so far that it could be walking away from the war, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth skipping a Ukraine aid meeting and President Trump suggesting Thursday that the two countries simply need to fight it out, comparing them to school children on a playground.
Maybe you're going to have to keep fighting and suffering a lot because both sides are suffering before you pull them apart, before they're able to be pulled apart.
At the same time, the administration says it remains committed to its NATO partners despite their differences on Ukraine. But key European allies say they still believe there's time to convince America to remain engaged.
This American government is open to discussions, listens, and is willing to accept other opinions.
Ukraine is proposing another round of peace talks at the end of the month. Russia has not responded. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, it's the 81st anniversary of the D-Day invasion, often referred to as the beginning of the end of World War II. On June 6th, 1944, tens of thousands of Allied troops from the United States, UK, France, and Canada stormed the beaches of Normandy in Nazi-occupied France. According to the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, the U.S. Army lost the most men in the amphibious landings. Some 2,500 American troops died in the beach assault and airborne operations on D-Day overall. However, the successful land, air, and sea operation was a turning point in the war. D-Day ultimately led to the liberation of Western Europe from Germany less than a year later. Now, earlier today, World War II veterans returned to Normandy, France for the anniversary. U.S. veterans on your screen there gathered in Colleville-sur-Mer, the Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial Site in Normandy and across the world. It's a day to pay tribute to more than 150,000 Allied troops who landed on those beaches of Normandy. Well, we're continuing to follow breaking news out of Mobile now. A police officer injured in a crash. We're told it happened during a chase last night that ended in a field off Overlook Road near Middle Ring Road. We're told the officer's SUV struck a tree. Fortunately, the officer only suffered minor injuries. Police tell Fox 10 News 2 people who were in the car being chased were taken into custody. Right now, we're working to get more information on their identities and what charges they might face. And now to a follow-up. Pritchard police officer David Cunningham will be extradited to Mississippi to face charges for an alleged kidnapping. We've been talking about this. Officer Cunningham signing his waiver of extradition. As we reported, he was taken into custody in Orange County, Florida this week on a kidnapping warrant out of Harrison County. We're not sure when, but that means Florida police will hand him over to Mississippi authorities to stand trial for an alleged kidnapping that we're told started at a Harrison County house party nearly 2 weeks ago. Well, right now, a state lawmaker is working on a proposal to expand the capital murder law in Alabama. In order to charge capital murder, which carries a potential death sentence, prosecutors in Alabama must show at least one aggravating factor, like killing a police officer, a child under 14, or killing multiple victims in the same act. There are more than 20 in all, but intentionally killing someone in a public place isn't one of them. In the wake of Sunday's fatal shooting inside the Sanger Theater, State Representative Matt Simpson hopes to change just that.
I'll be honest, I don't think the death penalty is used enough, and I think that does serve as a deterrent. Yeah, I absolutely want to send the message that you have the ultimate punishment to pay for that.
Representative Simpson says he's gotten feedback from law enforcement officials and hopes to have a full draft of the bill next week. Well, coming up on Fox 10 Midday, happening right now, is free men's health screenings here at the Fox 10 studios. We're checking back in with Joe coming up. But first, Jen, if people want to come to those screenings in the next hour, the commute isn't looking too bad.
Yeah, that is exactly right, Ashlyn. And so the good news is that we are starting to see some sunshine, still some spotty showers for some areas of the Gulf Coast. A beautiful view outside down on Dauphin Island, and expecting more of that sunshine, but hot temperatures heading into the rest of today. I'll be breaking down more of your forecast details coming up when we come back.
I'm 11:24 now, and the latest jobs report out today shows a stable labor market, despite uncertainty over President Donald Trump's tariffs and big market swings. Fox's Rebecca Castor breaks it down for us from Washington.
Stocks climbing at the opening bell Friday following a relatively good jobs report. The U.S. added 139,000 jobs in May, a drop from April, while unemployment stayed at 4.2% for the third month in a row. All signs of a fairly stable labor market.
This is telling us right now the jobs are out there for people who want them.
There is some cause for concern, though. The Bureau revised its March and April data to show 95,000 fewer jobs added than previously reported. And as expected, federal jobs took big hits following cuts by DOGE.
Employers entered this year very optimistic about hiring. Unfortunately, they're all in this wait and see mode. There's just so much uncertainty.
President Trump's tariffs are fueling some of that uncertainty now. But market experts say we likely won't know their true impact for some time.
We are interested in growing jobs and good jobs in America, particularly restoring, jobs like manufacturing jobs. We want to create as much policy certainty as possible. And right now, some of the big announcements coming out are creating a lot of disruption. It's just making it hard for businesses to plan.
The president seems pleased, though, with how things are going. Writing on Truth Social, America is hot. 6 months ago, it was cold as ice. Border is closed. Prices are down. Wages are up. Despite this month's good numbers, economists warn unemployment could rise dramatically depending on the outcome of ongoing trade negotiations.
Well, welcome back into Fox 10 Midday, and wow, take a look at this. This is going to be a live view over in Destin, and you can start to see Crab Island out there. A lot of folks getting out and enjoying it on this Friday. It is stunning. We're just starting to see some blue sunny skies out there, some vibrant water, and the good news, not quite feeling the impacts of that rough surf right along the immediate coastline. A little more protected in there, but still just make make sure for anyone heading out that way, please be cautious. Always know what to do around those other boats and be careful, especially with this heat. Make sure you're staying hydrated, applying that sunscreen. It is nothing to mess around with. Well, going ahead and taking a look at the temperatures out there, let's talk more about that heat. Upper 80s right now for the air temperature, but it's humid. It's muggy. We have winds out of the south, especially closer towards the immediate coastline, and it's not helping us out because it's only bringing in that abundance of Gulf moisture out there. So the feels like temperatures straying away significantly by about 10 degrees in both spots. So Gulf Shores, Pensacola, although resting in the upper 80s, beginning to approach closer towards feeling over 100 degrees. Forecast high temperatures as we do get further along into the rest of today, maxing up upper 80s, lower 90s. We're continuing just to stray away from where we should be at this point of June, getting away from our average temperatures. But taking that humidity into account, we're going to be feeling much warmer out there. That feels like temperatures closer towards the mid to especially upper 90s and the triple digits. A reminder, we're already seeing some of those triple digits out there so far. It's only 11:16 to start off for this morning, and we still have quite a ways to go till we get to our peak heating of this afternoon. Now, we will have the potential for some rain showers out there. We're already seeing some to start off for today, especially in southern Mobile, Baldwin counties, and really the Florida Panhandle getting the bulk of it. But our futurecast not quite waking up yet for this morning. It's really starting to downplay what we're seeing out there currently. But the main takeaway with the futurecast is heading into this afternoon is more just that development that really begins to fire off after 1 o'clock. Random, where we start to see some of them develop. Don't pay too close attention to the development. As we can see, it's already struggling out there. But the main takeaway with this is just showing that we're going to see more of it by the second half of today. So keep that in mind for late afternoon, Friday night plans. You might start to see some of that rain coverage continuing. Just make sure that you do have that rain gear ready to go just in case. Those winds closer towards our coastal areas going to continue to stay out of the southwest right around 10 to 15 miles per hour. The good news, however, is that we will start to see some improvements at our local beaches heading into tomorrow and Sunday, looking a lot better to start off for the early part of next week. Please make sure that you're being cautious out there. Today is June 6th. Hurricane season officially began on Sunday, but although we're very little into the season, the good news is that things are calm and quiet out there. No new tropical development expected over the next 7 days. This includes the Atlantic, the Gulf, and the Caribbean. Just make sure you're being cautious of what you see on social media. Always double check your sources and the timestamps before you comment, share, or send it to someone that you know. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team of meteorologists here at Fox 10. And heading into this weekend, it's going to be hot. Daytime highs lower to mid 90s. Feels like temperatures even higher. Rain chances go up as we enter into next week, and our temperatures go down just a little bit, but it's still going to be steamy out there. I'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
All right, Jen, thank you. Well, right now, Fox 10 is linking arms with Franklin Primary Health Center for Men's Health Month. Free screenings have been taking place for men all morning long here at the Fox 10 studios. It's been fun getting to meet several of you. But first, let's check back in with Joe again. Joe, time is running out for men to get those screenings this morning, right?
It certainly is. We went from 8 a.m. up until noon, so we still have a little bit of that window left. If you're nearby and want to come to Fox 10, check it out. Here's what you can have done. Let's take a look at these signs. Mick, our camera guy, you've got your PSA testing. We'll test for blood sugar over on this side. You can see they're testing for your blood pressure, BMI, height, and weight. If we take a quick peek inside here, we can see all of these folks who are ready and waiting for you to come on out. And we have had a large crowd coming out throughout the day. A lot of folks were lined up right away at about 8 a.m. There's one other thing that you can get tested. Is this my girl Valerie over here? How you doing, Valerie? Wonderful. All right, so check this out. What are you doing over here, Valerie?
I'm only doing the eye screening.
The eye screening?
Yes.
So how does it work? You stand back there?
Yeah, stand back there. It's just a screening. All we do is just test your eyes.
And Valerie put me to the test about 5 minutes ago. How did I do?
You did well.
I did well in my right eye, but I just learned today, honestly, that my left eye is not as good as my right eye. So Valerie here is going to remove my left eye.
No, I'm not.
No, she's not. But honestly, that's why you come on out. So you can learn these things that maybe you didn't know about, whether it's the PSA test, the vision screening, your blood sugar, any of these things. Look, it's real simple. You can come out, and all of our friendly staff like Valerie here from Franklin Primary Health are ready to help you. Thank you so much to all involved with making this happen today. Not wearing a watch, but I know it's until noon, Ashton. So come on out. You've got a few minutes left.
All right, thanks, Joe. It's about 40 minutes left on the clock, so be sure to come out here to the Fox 10 studios. Well, right now on Fox10TV.com, morning anchor Sarah Wall takes a deep dive into the summer meal programs for Mobile and Baldwin counties, including the Alabama Sunbucks program, which gives eligible families a one-time payment of $120 for school-age kids and grocery benefits during the summer. Sarah shows you who is eligible and how to apply if you aren't already enrolled. That story and all of that info is on our homepage at fox10tv.com. Well, after the break, the May jobs report is in, and it's good news for the Trump administration. But why there still might be some trouble, though, on the horizon. We'll be back in just a moment with more Fox 10 Midday. Stay close. Welcome back. Our Vanessa Pacheco is getting in touch with her artistic side this morning. Right now, she's at Stampin' Turtles in Daphne for a lesson in watercolors. Vanessa, show us what you're painting.
We are creating a masterpiece, one brushstroke at a time. I am here with Jacqueline Park. She is the owner of Stampin' Turtles. And to be on brand, we of course are painting a sea turtle,
Yes.
right? Okay, so we've already started here, Jacqueline. What's the next step?
So we're adding the second layer for your painting. I've already done it in mine, where it's going to have these little squiggly lines in there. So just make sure you get enough of this paint on your brush. So fill up your brush.
I've learned that there has to be a lot of water required.
And then
for
just
this.
watch what I'm doing. Like basically I'm just doing these little squiggles here and there. So you'll see it'll start to come up and it'll start to look really cool. And it's basically the same color we already laid down.
Okay.
With maybe just a little bit more blue added into it.
Do I have to go one way or it can go different ways?
I would vary it so that it doesn't look like a bunch of the same stroke. So definitely want to vary the shape of your squiggles. So you might want to do trapezoid, a hexagon, and then some longer ones, bigger ones, smaller ones, and just vary it. So, and you can even go back in with different colors. So see, I'm adding a different kind of blue on top of here. And let the brush and the water kind of guide you. And I've mentioned this before, I just let the Lord kind of guide my hands. When I'm doing pet portraits for people, I always pray before I start to make sure that it becomes something meaningful to them and that they can treasure for the rest of their lives.
You have painted some beautiful watercolor paintings here. Now tell me about some of the classes that you host.
So I love to share what I know about watercoloring because I learned from YouTube, but I want to do in-person classes. So I do have classes here. You can check my website, stampinturtles.com, and get more information on all the classes, but I do advanced and beginner classes. You don't have to have even picked up a paintbrush in order to do this because it's a step-by-step instruction when you come to my class.
This is an advanced class that she's gonna host on Sunday. But I look at yours and I'm like, okay, I need some work right now.
You're doing great, actually. You're doing awesome.
This is what we have so far, guys.
It's amazing. And I always tell them there's an ugly stage, so please have patience with yourself and give yourself some grace so that you know it will look good at the end. And
it's going to be a masterpiece. We still have a few more steps, but Jacqueline, thank you so much. Again, if anyone wants more information, where can they go?
Stampinturtles.com, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and you can call me too. My phone number, should I give that out?
Yeah, if you want.
All right, 8251-454-9545. Text me anytime, and I will give you information on all my classes.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Of course, this is going to turn into a masterpiece, guys, but I have to focus now, so we're going to send it back to you.
It's hard to talk and do this at the same time.
All right, we're trusting the process, Vanessa. Thank you for that. And how fitting is Vanessa's story today because it's actually sea turtle nesting season right now. Volunteers across the Alabama Gulf Coast are helping to protect the sea turtles. Here's that story that we have for you now. Now, these are endangered species from Dauphin Island's west end. There are several different species of turtles who nest on Alabama beaches, and now you can actually adopt one of those nests. It's through the Alabama Coastal Foundation's Share the Beach program. You can support sea turtle conservation work to help more turtles safely hatch and get to the water. There's a form you can fill out and donate anywhere from $20 to $5,000 to adopt a nest at joinacf.org. You can also choose the specific location along the Alabama coastline you'd like to sponsor. Mark Burt, Executive Director of the Alabama Coastal Foundation, explains how your sponsorship truly helps.
The Adopt a Nest program helps to support the 500 volunteers that monitor our beaches. We have team leaders and then a Share the Beach director, as well as a lot of different activities to be able to educate people about our sea turtles.
Now, turtle season runs from May through October and sometimes even into November. Sea turtles are federally protected, so if you mess with one, you can face some serious trouble with the law. If you see a mama turtle laying her eggs, just wait until she heads to the water and then call the Sea Turtle Hotline so they can block it off from the public. Well, if you're looking to score some fun deals, listen up. There's a huge community yard sale happening in Silver Hill. It takes place tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. at the address you see on your screen. You can fill your shopping bag with clothing, toys, furniture, and books, just to name a few. And if you want to sell something, booth space is still available. It does cost $20 to participate, and you can pay the day of the event, but it's on a first come, first serve basis.
Taking another look at your forecast and a live view outside down in Fairhope. And you can just start to see some of those showers out there on the horizon that are pushing across Mobile Bay. The winds a little breezy out of the south, but those construction workers trying to finish up what they're doing out there just before some of those showers do reach them, but anticipating some of this rain to move across from Mobile Bay heading towards the eastern shore if it does continue just to hold together. But these rain showers possible at any point heading into today. It's especially scattered closer towards Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties in Florida. Mobile, Baldwin counties just beginning to catch up just a little bit, starting to see more of those showers about to impact downtown Mobile, closer also down towards Dawes, into Bayou La Battery, Theodore Tillman's Corner, and Grand Bay. On the eastern shore, there's just one of those isolated showers that we were seeing from that live camera view. Also closer towards Daphne, if they do continue to hold together, they'll continue just to push further off towards the east. Lillian still experiencing some of those showers, along with Molino, Cantonment. That is some slow moving rain. It's just barely beginning to push off closer towards Pace, Avalon Beach, and Garcon Point. NAS Pensacola also starting to see some of those showers. Floridale over towards Crestview, Deerland down towards Niceville. More of that moderate to heavy rainfall. Reminder, Futurecast is holding off just a little bit on what actually is occurring out there, but still showing it just to show the trend heading into the rest of today. Random pop-up showers, maybe a thunderstorm out there by this afternoon. That heat, that humidity, they're working together to develop just some of this rain coverage. So the main takeaway, if you have Friday afternoon or evening plans, just keep that rain gear handy just in case. And especially don't pay too close attention to the placement, because still anticipating more of those showers to be making an appearance closer towards Mobile and Baldwin County. Some of these could also contain heavier downpours, but do keep in mind some of that cloud cover today could be gray, looking like it's going to rain at any point, but that's just reflective of the high humidity out there. Our dew points, they're ranging in the 70s, really starting to see more of those upper 70s, the 77s, the 78s beginning to make an appearance. And so our dew point comfort scale, we are well within that muggy category, but anywhere seeing those 77s and 78s, that's falling within the miserable category of just how hot it is out there. And it's only going to be leading to more of those warmer feels like temperatures. Quite the gap. Really, that's about 10 to 12 degrees out there from the air temperature to the feels like temperatures. Those heat indices, it is toasty. Stay hydrated. It's not feeling good out there. You almost want to make a break for the beach, but still make sure that you are being cautious out there. Seeing some single red flags flying at our local beaches. So a lot of folks getting out there and enjoying it, but some of them a little too deep out there. You can start to see some of those folks really don't want to go past your ankles or your shins in this weather, just because we are starting to see some of that rough surf. Always know the name of the beach you're located on, where that closest lifeguard stand is, though. Again, our beaches, they all have different names out there. Know your specific one. Temperatures out there resting in the upper 80s, feeling like 98. The good news, however, heading into tomorrow and Sunday, we will start to see improvements at our local beaches. Likely more of those yellow flags, but again, still well. Be careful, keep a close eye on your kiddos, and know what to do if you get caught in that rip current risk. Remember, remain calm, let it take you out, and then you swim parallel to the beach just to try and get out of that. Now, over the next 7 days, it's even hotter heading into tomorrow. Look at that, daytime highs lower to mid-90s, going to be feeling like the triple digits. Rain chances go up heading into next week. Those temperatures go down slightly, but I'll talk more about your forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ashlyn.
Jen, thank you. In your Fox Business Briefs today, May job numbers have come in better than expected, and Mexican restaurants are doing better than a longtime favorite cuisine. Here's Fox's CJ Papa.
The May jobs report is out. The economy added 139,000 jobs, and the unemployment rate held at 4.2%. This was the last jobs report before the Fed decides on interest rates later this month. According to Freddie Mac, mortgage interest rates have fallen. The average 30-year fixed mortgage is around 6.85%. Borrowing costs are only part of the equation for would-be buyers, though. U.S. home prices have risen this year, and tariffs will likely hinder new construction.
It's spicy, delicious.
And it's a changing of the guard for restaurants. According to industry data, fast casual Mexican restaurants have generated $34 billion in annual sales, slicing ahead of pizza joints with its $31 billion in annual sales.
Mexican food is not only about the spiciness, it's also about the strong flavors what we have.
As popular as Mexican food is right now, it faces some unique challenges. There's concern about the threat of tariffs and how that could affect the cost of staple ingredients like avocados, which are used for guacamole and are often sourced from Mexico. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Now listen to this. A private spacecraft that was attempting to land on the moon likely crashed into it. That's according to Japan-based iSpace. The company says its unmanned lunar lander Resilience descended successfully, but likely had a hard landing. The exact reasons for the mission's failure, though, are currently unclear. This was the second attempt at a soft landing by iSpace. We're told the company is hoping to become the first commercial company outside of the U.S. to successfully land on the moon. iSpace, though, has made it clear it's not giving up. Even before this landing attempt, the CFO said iSpace already has the money locked down for a third try at a lunar touchdown. Well, we have some fun stories coming up for you on Fox 10 midday. Today is National Donut Day. Jen and I will tell you where you can get some of those sweet deals after this. All right, so the other day I said that National Ketchup Day was the best day of the year, but I think this one takes the cake. So one of America's favorite sweet treats gets its own day twice a year, including today.
Yeah, so the first National Donut Day of the year is today.
And this one honors the Salvation Army women who served the pastry to soldiers during World War I.
Wow, so it's obvious how to celebrate. Enjoy some donuts.
Of course, pick some up at the grocery store or your favorite coffee or donut shop, or if you're ambitious, make your own at home.
I don't think I'm ambitious enough to make donuts myself.
That's intimidating.
But yeah, it is. But some fun facts. America eats 10 billion donuts a year.
I believe it. That's about 31 donuts per person.
And the signature hole in the middle is said to have begun to help them make the donuts cook more evenly.
I did not know that. Well, Krispy Kreme, of course, is giving away one free donut to all customers. Plus, you can get a dozen original glazed for $2 when you buy any other dozen at regular price.
Also, Dunkin' is offering a free classic donut with any beverage purchase. Delicious. Do you have a favorite kind?
Ooh, I love Krispy Kreme. Anything with sprinkles. I'm a big sprinkle girly,
See,
for sure.
Funny, in Studio 10, Joe was the complete opposite. He said anything
Sounds
but
about right.
something.
That's why we're not friends.
I know, right?
Yet another reason.
Mine's Bavarian, but I like more of the custard on the inside. Ooh. Yeah, but every single year I contribute to that statistic. Every year, Christmas Day, we have donuts.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get our donuts today. Where are you gonna go?
Oh, that's a good one. We have one right down the street. Okay. So I might have to stop there.
You should. So I'm going to go to Krispy Kreme after this, for sure. Enjoy a donut today. Well, listen to this. A British zoo welcomes a newborn baby Bactrian camel calf.
So a video released by the Whipsnade Zoo today shows the unnamed baby boy staying close to his mother's side.
So cute. It's the first calf born on May 18th to mom Orla and dad Oakley following a 13-month pregnancy.
Zookeepers say that the baby calf appears to be strong and healthy and even squeaks when his mom constantly reassures him with murmurs and noises.
Look at him. He is her shadow for sure. Well, the Bactrian camel calf joins his 1-year-old half-sister Sally and will live with the Conservation Zoo's herd of 5 adults.
According to the zoo, domestic Bactrian camels are an ambassador species for their critically endangered cousins, the wild camel in Mongolia and China.
Wow.
And so I was looking it up. What sets these camels apart is the double hump.
Yeah, so a Bactrian camel has the double hump.
Double hump.
Do you know what the word is for the
something
fancy?
something
hard
over there,
to pronounce. But I didn't know that. They're so sweet. Have you ever ridden a camel?
I have a few times.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
I figured you were. You're adventurous.
I was gonna say, but my mom, when we lived in Kansas City, she worked with a nurse at the hospital, and she actually raised camels.
No way.
Yeah. So and she would always have them come to all the nativity scenes for the live action Christmases.
They're huge. They're a little scary up close, but they are just majestic creatures. Yeah. Well, it's not always easy getting older, and besides health struggles, medical experts say elderly people often face harder times making friends and fighting off some of that loneliness.
Now, Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter takes a closer look at how the magic of pets can help make an impact.
While the Beatles famously sung, "We all get by with a little help from our friends," veterinarians say friends of the furry, scaly, and feathery variety can also provide a host of perks, especially as we age.
Pets not only benefit us from helping to alleviate loneliness, but they have benefits to our mental and physical health as well.
According to the CDC, older people are more at risk of becoming socially isolated. Roughly 1 in 4 adults report not having some form of social and emotional support.
Loneliness is one of the biggest causes of depression and even can accelerate dementia and death in people. And one of the best ways to combat that feeling is for somebody to have a pet.
Besides making a home feel less empty, pets can provide critical structure to an elderly retired person's life.
They have to get up and feed their pet and maybe have a little cuddle time as well. And having a dog is a great way to get out and go for a walk. Even if you have a cat, they make strollers and harnesses and leashes.
Walking pets outside can also increase someone's chances for social interactions if they run into neighbors or other owners. The exercise can also work wonders for the mind and body.
That directly impacts our heart health. It helps lower our blood pressure. It helps alleviate stress and anxiety.
Experts say seniors should find a pet that matches their energy and mobility levels. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
I think this is so true regardless of any age. And just a reminder too, Jen, to maybe call the grandparents in your life or elderly people because they'd love to hear from you.
That's exactly right. Check in, but also there's plenty of shelter pets that are in need of a loving home. And the good news too is that a lot of those, they have less of that puppy energy, and so they just need someone to relax with. Well, let's go ahead and talk more about your forecast. And just a reminder, it's a great time to go ahead, download the Fox 10 weather app. That way you're staying updated with the forecast. Especially it's really relevant right now in case you do have any of those outdoor plans, because we are actively tracking some of those showers out there. Not quite seeing any thunderstorms just yet, but also a reminder that if you press that bottom right-hand box, it says past right now, but it changes to past plus future, and you have an interactive futurecast right there in the palm of your hand just to help time things out. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside. Now, just about 5 minutes ago, you could not see anything from this camera view. What a difference a few minutes makes. It just shows you how quick moving some of these showers are. Look towards the ground. You can start to see those cars coming in. It's slick. It's soggy on the roadways out there. It's probably not feeling the best in the wake of this rain. It's going to start feeling sticky here in a minute once that sun begins to emerge. But again, passing showers possible. Just saw a decent one move through downtown Mobile and knock down the those feels like temperatures just a little bit, still feeling like 93 out there. But here's a look at what we're tracking out there on radar. So more of those showers just pushing over I-10 and the Causeway. Just make sure you're driving carefully. That one just to the west of Fairhope has fizzled out, but still holding together a little bit near Daphne. Pensacola also pretty soggy, along with additional areas of the Florida Panhandle. Getting in a new scan there. Slow moving storms towards the Florida side, or just showers out there. Milton, Allentown, Floridale, Crestview, and Dearland really just starting to see that moderate to heavy rain. But coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, timing things out once again for today, plus a look at what you can expect for this weekend. For now, a live view outside down on Dauphin Island. We'll be right back after this.
Wild story for you this morning before we wrap up today. A high-flying rescue unfolded in California after a pair of off-roaders overestimated their SUV's capabilities while underestimating the power of the river it was braving. Jeremy Roth has this story in today's Take a Look at This.
A pair of off-road enthusiasts learned their vehicle's limitations the hard way after having to be rescued from the roof of their sunken Jeep. The California Highway Patrol says the group wanted to test the vehicle's abilities by attempting to cross the Carson River in Alpine County, but the Jeep Wrangler became swept up in the river's strong currents and was left partially submerged, with its occupants fleeing to the roof, from which they were hoisted to dry land by a CHP Air Ops chopper crew. CHP later shared the video, simply saying, "The duo's off-road and river run did not go well." Social commenters were a little, less diplomatic. From a foul up on 4 wheels to ending up on 2 wheels. That's what happened in Tampa, Florida, when a collision between 2 vehicles left one tilted and teetering at an angle. Tampa police say no one was seriously injured thanks to the use of seatbelts, but officers had to clamber onto the cambered car to let out a stuck driver and his 7-year-old passenger, whom officers keenly kept calm during the ordeal.
You're a champ, bro. Who's your favorite superhero? Batman? You're Batman right now, man.
The department later shared the video saying real heroes don't wear capes, they buckle up. Finally, a different kind of rescue as wildlife workers' years-long efforts to bolster a threatened species culminated in the release of 56 baby turtles into the Iowa wild. The Blandings turtle hatchlings, who were born and raised at the Blank Park Zoo, were each outfitted with wireless transmitters prior to release to allow experts to monitor their movements in the wild.
They're super cool. They're super ecologically important. I'm definitely a bit nervous. I hope that they do really well out there.
For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
So cute. We were talking about this earlier on the newscast too. It's officially sea turtle season
It is.
on the Gulf Coast, and you can actually adopt a nest as well and sponsor one. So you can head on over to fox10tv.com if you missed that.
And as always, just a reminder, in case you're going to be hunting for any of those sand crabs at night, make sure you have a red cover for your flashlight. Well, let's go ahead and take a final look at your forecast. Here's that another view outside from our Battleship Memorial camera, brought to you by Navigator Credit Union. I swiped it to the other side, so this is facing the eastern shore, but you really can't see much. That's because that heavy rain is beginning to push through over the Bayway and the Causeway. Takeaway, drive carefully. Double check your headlights are on. That way you're visible to other drivers, especially with those taillights illuminated. I'm looking at you, silver and white cars. You tend to disappear once that rain begins to get kicked up. Timing things out in our futurecast, it is struggling to start off for this morning, but we will start to see more of that rain development heading into the rest of today. Random. Don't pay too close attention to the placement. It's mainly the timing that we start to see more of these firing off this afternoon and this evening. Could be a little soggy for any of those Friday night plans. It'll help cool you down just a little bit until that sunset makes an appearance right after, because they are pretty quick moving for some spots, and then it's going to feel muggy after that. That mugginess only continues to go up tomorrow. Triple-digit heat indices today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Stay hydrated, take breaks, find some AC. We start to see those temperatures go slightly down next week, but the rain coverage goes up. We'll keep you updated right here on Fox 10.
Well, whatever you guys plan to do this weekend, we hope it's an amazing one. Thanks for watching Fox 10 Midday. See you at 3 p.m.